Therefore, observe the rules of driving. A message from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, moving Lagos forward.
News from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, moving Lagos forward.
Hello and good afternoon. Here is the news at 1. First, the highlights. Apologies for that. Over to the stories. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has assured the business community in Lagos State of a thriving environment to boost their businesses despite the global economic challenges. Governor Sanwo-Olu gave the assurance at the 8th Lagos Corporate Assembly tagged BOS Smith's Business Community held at the Lagos House, Ikeja. The governor, who admitted the many challenges facing the business community, promised to engage them more and urged personnel in government agencies to interface with business owners with humane face, noting that the state requires almost 7 trillion naira to fix its infrastructural deficits.
Resolutions on how we need to be engaging ourselves going further, right? Mr. President has given a tall order. We want an economy that can get up to 1 trillion by 2030. And for that to happen, Lagos must be in that conversation. It's the economic, commercial nerve center of our country. And the businesses that will make that happen need to be on the same page with Mr. President. And that's the whole essence of our meeting with them. And we've also agreed, after 3 hours, that there's a need for us to do a follow-up, engagement again.
Earlier, Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, Folashade Ambrose Medebem, reiterated that the state government will continue to use platforms such as the Corporate Assembly to sustain the engagement to move up the ladder on the Global Ease of Doing Business Index. Some of the stakeholders called for governors' intervention in areas of environmental sanitation, multiple taxation, levies, and harmonization of inspection of business facilities. The event was attended by captains of industries, representatives of Manufacturer Association of Nigeria (MAN), heads of agencies and parastatals, micro, small and medium entrepreneurs (MSMEs), among others. Lagos State Government, through the Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board and its partners, have inaugurated a state subcommittee for community-based maternal, prenatal, and child death surveillance and response. The inauguration of the committee took place during a stakeholders engagement. Speaking at the event, Special Advisor to the Governor on Health, Olukemi Ogunyemi, noted that it has become imperative to involve members of the community, particularly at the grassroots level, in reducing the rate of maternal and child mortality in the state. Ogunyemi said the Babajide Sanwo-Olu's government is keenly interested in the well-being of all Lagosians, especially pregnant women and children. She charged the subcommittee members to go all out in the discharge of their duties and ensure that the trust reposed in them by the state government for their assignment is justified. Earlier in his address, the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board, Ibrahim Mustafa, identified the importance of sensitizing the stakeholders on modalities for the rollout of community-based maternal, prenatal, and child death surveillance and response in Lagos. Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service, LSBTS, has commemorated this year's National Blood Donors Day at the Lagos State National Youth Service Corps NYSC Orientation Camp, Yanoikpaja. Its Executive Secretary, Boduri Oshikomaya, highlighted the agency's remarkable achievement in advocating for safe blood donation. Oshikomaya emphasized a significant increase in awareness for safe blood requirement, marking a 100% surge compared to the previous year. She said LSBTS has collected over 140,000 units of blood across the state, with 15% from voluntary donors. Notably, 96% of the voluntary donations provide crucial blood components for emergencies such as fresh frozen plasma and platelet concentrates. Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA, has advocated for efficient plastic waste management as a way of protecting the environment from further degradation and serving as a means of revenue generation. In achieving this, LASEPA, in conjunction with the United Nations Industrial Organization, UNIDO, organized a one-day awareness seminar to sensitize the public on the new circular economy through plastic waste recycling. The General Manager of LASEPA, Babatunde Ajayi, emphasized the critical need to address the environmental impact of plastic waste on human health and aquatics. He called for unified efforts to tackle the pressing global concerns. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has turned down a proposal by the Senate to increase crude oil production benchmark in the 2024 appropriation bill from 1.78 million barrels per day to 1.8 million barrels per day. Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPCL, Mele Kyari, told the Senate Committee on Appropriations during an interactive session in Abuja that a benchmark of 1.78 barrels per day was realistic enough and did not require any upward review. The federal government in the appropriation bill had pegged average crude oil production at 1.78 million barrels per day and crude oil price benchmark of $77.96 for the 2024 fiscal year. Kyari told the committee to stick to the benchmark proposed by the president in the 2024 appropriation bill. And in some foreign news, European Union EU officials have reached a provisional deal on the world's first comprehensive laws to regulate the use of artificial intelligence, AI. After 36 hours of talks, negotiators agreed rules around AI in systems like Chat, GPT, and facial recognition. The European Parliament will vote on the AI Act proposals early next year, but any legislation will not take effect until at least 2025. The US, UK, and China are rushing to publish their own guidelines. The proposals include safeguards of the use of AI within the EU, as well as limitations on its adoption by law enforcement agencies. Consumers would have the right to launch complaints, and fines could be imposed for violations. EU Commissioner Thierry Breton described the plans as historic, saying it will set clear rules for the use of AI. And over to sports news, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, has confirmed that Russian and Belarusian athletes who have qualified for the Paris 2024 Olympics will be allowed to participate as neutrals. The condition of their inclusion includes competing without flags, emblems, or anthems of their country. World Athletics President Sebastian Coe says allowing individuals to take part is about respecting human rights. Athletes from those nations were banned following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Meanwhile, the IOC says its position remains unchanged, with athletes, support personnel, and officials from Russia and Belarus remaining excluded from World Athletics Series events. And that was our news at 1. But just before we go, stay alive. Meters of pedestrian bridges were available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, and on YouTube. Subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered over 1,000 residents at the third phase of the Mega Empowerment Program? Well, you can always get details on the Lagos State Government website, and for contact with the newsroom, send a message to newsroom@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast that was compiled by Coyote Mafalashiri. Thank you for listening. My name is Mike James. Good afternoon.
We are the dial.